Welcome to Elevate Your Life, the channel where stories come to life. Here we dive into captivating book reviews and explore stories that inspire, challenge, and transform. Whether it's a thrilling mystery, a heartwarming tale, or a philosophical masterpiece, there's always a book to elevate your journey. The Unwelcome Passenger. It was a late Tuesday evening when my car broke down on a desolate road I rarely travelled. The trip was already off to a rough start. My GPS had rerouted me due to construction, and my phone battery was on its last leg. The woods on either side of the road seemed to stretch endlessly into the darkness, and as minutes turned into what felt like hours, I realized I had no choice but to flag down the next car that passed. Finally, headlights appeared in the distance, their beams cutting through the dense black. I waved frantically, a mix of desperation and relief washing over me when the car slowed to a stop. The driver rolled down his window, revealing a man who looked to be in his 40s with a calm, almost too calm demeanor. He offered to give me a ride to the nearest gas station. Something about his stillness set me on edge, but the thought of spending the night alone in the dark was worse. I climbed in, thanking him profusely. The drive started quietly, with only the low hum of the engine and faint radio chatter filling the silence. The host was discussing a string of recent disappearances in the area, something I normally wouldn't pay attention to, but in that moment it made my stomach churn. I tried to break the tension with small talk, asking him about the road ahead and the gas station. His responses were short, clipped and polite, but his hands gripped the wheel tightly, and his eyes darted to the rearview mirror more often than seemed normal. As we drove, the unease in my chest grew. I glanced into the back seat just out of curiosity, and my breath caught. A shadowy figure sat there, its outline faint but unmistakable. I turned quickly, my pulse racing, but when I looked again, the seat was empty. "Everything okay?" I muttered something about being tired, trying to steady my voice, but my mind was racing. Was I imagining things? Or was there someone in the car with us? We continued down the road, the woods growing denser and darker with each passing mile. Then, without warning, the man slowed the car. My heart began to pound as I realized we weren't near the gas station yet. He pulled to the side of the road, the tires crunching on gravel, and locked the doors with a click that echoed in the stillness. "You shouldn't have looked back." "What do you mean?" I stammered, gripping the door handle. My heart was racing now, my every instinct screaming at me to get out. But then he turned to me, his face pale under the dim glow of the dashboard, and said, "They don't like being seen." I didn't wait to find out what he meant. I yanked at the door handle, expecting it to resist, but to my surprise, it opened. I threw myself out onto the gravel, scraping my palms as I landed. I scrambled to my feet and turned back toward the car, only to see it speeding off into the darkness. The tail lights disappeared around a bend, leaving me alone on the roadside. My hands shook as I reached for my phone, only to remember it had died hours ago. I looked around, the woods pressing in on me from all sides. The silence was deafening, but then I heard it. Faint whispers, like the rustling of leaves, but coming from nowhere and everywhere all at once. I spun around, trying to locate the source, but there was nothing, just shadows dancing at the edges of the road. I started walking, the sound of my own footsteps on the gravel, the only reassurance that I wasn't standing still. Eventually, the gas station came into view, its neon sign flickering like a beacon in the night. Relief washed over me as I stepped inside, the warmth and hum of fluorescent lights grounding me, but as I approached the counter to ask for help, the attendant froze. His eyes widened as he looked past me toward the door I had just come through. "You were with him." I turned slowly, but the parking lot was empty. There was no sign of the man, no car, no shadowy figure, just the lingering sense that I had narrowly escaped something I'll never fully understand. To this day, I don't know what I saw in that back seat or what the driver meant by his warning, but one thing is certain: I'll never accept a ride from a stranger again. Thanks for watching Elevate Your Life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more incredible stories and reviews. Let us know in the comments what book you'd like us to explore next. Remember, every great story starts with turning the first page. So let's elevate your life one book at a time.